r/datingoverforty. Wild Vanilla Dad says, anybody else feel really bad about themselves after swiping on the apps? 46 meters. After a few months of looking through a few different old apps, I've realized that they make me feel completely unmoored and defeated, and I come away with the feeling that nobody will ever want me. I've only matched with a couple of women in that time, and those were really reaching. It seems to be a very small pool of women who share some of my interests. Mostly, I find women who are not anything like what I'd like in a partner, and the overwhelming feeling I get is these are not my people. Conversely, I feel like 99% of the women I see wouldn't give me the time of day. I might be able to put on an act and get more matches, but I don't want to do that for obvious reasons. I've always felt a bit out of touch with how most people operate, and my old experience has really hammered that feeling home. Does anybody else feel this way? Endless Pie says, people who aren't into us have always been out there, but damn if the apps aren't efficient in rubbing our noses into the fact. We hear about others doing well there, and all we hear from our inbox is the occasional cricket. It can get negative quickly. So yeah, you're not alone. Edit, fixed typo. NMW 1976 says, the apps always make me wonder where the weirdos are. I feel like I'm too weird for the normies and too normie for the weirdos. Soggy_cartographer18 says, I have this where do I fit in feeling on the apps. The majority of the men in my area love pro baseball and hockey, and they hunt and ride motorcycles. Backward ball cap and Oakleys. I'm not physically attracted to them, and we don't have much in common, and it's mutual. They think I'm too liberal. I've tried because I have two friends who found love with their camo wearing ATV guy, and I try but nope. But the liberal art gallery guys are too liberal and art house. I'm a suburban mom and I don't have tattoos or live in the city. I don't go to marches. They think I'm a square. I'm too liberal and artsy for the sports guys, and not liberal/artsy enough for the liberal artsy guys. Larry Biseglia says, I've long felt that old is a soul-crushing vortex of false hope. Yet for some unfathomable reason, I decided to drop in on Zoosk today for the first time in months. I saw a woman who has been on my mind all day and finally gave in. I re-upped my subscription and sent her a message. She is cute, but this isn't based on looks. Her profile is unlike anyone else I've seen. She seems quirky, creative, authentic, and very hard to categorize. Something about her struck me, making me think she could be on my wavelength. So, against my better judgment, I'm trying again. Soul crushing to follow. Dead Shark Eyes says, or when you meet an introverted weirdo like yourself, and they still reject you. Less I. G-Kype says, old is just another way to encounter people. When you go to the grocery store, you encounter dozens of people who don't want to date you. Do you let that bother you? Of course not. Don't let old define your self-worth. Be yourself, be picky, be patient, and realize it will take time and luck. r/datingoverforty. KeeksTX says, they care. I was widowed at 44. I got into the dating over 30 sub to try to find like-minded people who were having trouble connecting. After a few months I realized that people in their 30s had very different end games than people in their 40s. It was that realization that prompted me and you/Curmudgeon Liblagger to create a dating over 40 sub that we felt was very needed. It was, and flourished quickly. We were beyond wanting to have kids. We were not wanting to spend our Saturday mornings at soccer games. We had already had our kids, or not, and we were happy with our station in life. We just happened to be alone. It spread quickly, and I was absolutely amazed. New mods were added who took control and handled a sub with relish and kind hands. The new mods, starting with you/Miss Ocealalt, did an amazing job policing the sub. I was stymied at how well and how quickly they policed the sub. Amazing leaders. I'm no longer a part of the mod team. I just want to let all of you know that you are in excellent hands. The 8 mods are really fantastic and fair. The garbage people will be blocked, and those of you who sincerely come for advice will get the best of it. Thank you /Kermudgeon Liblagat, /Misocialord, /Grubdad, and /Morley for your super duper moderating. I'm now in my 50s, and with a super guy that took 8 years to find, but I know I'm a better person and partner because of what I learned on this sub. Sanatlikaitis says, very cool to hear the history of this sub. Thank you for your service and for building this wonderful place. Snalbuddy says, I appreciate you setting up a space for grown-ups. The feedback may not always be kind, but it is usually mature, a couple of jokers aside. And if I put up a post, I can know that I'm in front of a bunch of people who understand that we are not in our 20s anymore. We are not trying to make a family usually, at least not most of us. Our kids are mostly grown up or full grown. Our careers are usually pretty settled, etc. Advice coming from people who are close to my stage of life. This year I graduate to datingoverforty, I guess. Seems a nice enough bunch. Fit_cry_7007 says, are both of you in a relationship by any chance? If so, that'd be so sweet. r/datingoverforty. Lord of Thessalms says, relocating for a person. M, 42, and my F, 32, lady friend talked about moving out of state. We wound up wanting to live in different states, so I encouraged her to do what was best for her and her children. She did the same with me. We've been friends for 5 years, and together about 1 year. We treated it like a FWB sometimes, but there's plenty of emotional support, lots of texting, and whenever possible we'd have amazing sex. Overall no complaints or drama, it was still growing. The reason we couldn't always see each other no longer exists in her new city. The week she moved we had some deep conversations about us and how neither of us really wanted things to end. The first time we FaceTimed after the move made me want to move where she moved. There are climate and geographic differences between where I wanted to go and where she is. Both are lower cost of living than where we've been living. Both cities have 6-figure populations. She moved for her kids. She also had baggage in this area. I'm moving for better weather. I don't really like the area where I live, and I work remotely. I can move wherever I want because I'm doing better than okay financially. I would probably buy a duplex or quad to live in. If it didn't work out I could hire a property manager and move somewhere else. I can't decide what my motivations are. My heart tells me one thing, my brain can go either way. Is it crazy to follow someone when you had other plans? The risks are basically the effort required to move. And it'd lose some time. The rewards are pretty amazing. I kinda worry I might regret both scenarios. How would you make this decision if you were? Date Ready says, it sounds like you're living in your dream location, spending a lot of time thinking about her. Something tells me that if you go live with her, you're not going to be spending a lot of time thinking about better weather. HR 11,756,245 says, before you move, spend some time in the new city. If you feel you can honestly make a home in the same city as your lady friend, buy an investment property there and a small vacation home/condo in your dream location. No Primary 9011 says, sounds like you have nothing to lose. You mentioned time, but that will pass anyway. You have already thought out worst case scenarios and seem well prepared. I say go for it, no risk no reward, right? ThoughtCrafty6154 says, I'd say go for it and maybe talk with her about WHST a relationship there with her would look like. Location and baggage might change the dynamics from not really much to a lot. Get a beat on if it's worth it, and the long-term viability this has with being in a relationship with her. I would move for someone, but it would be because we are really making a go of it. There's nice weather in a lot of places. I live in a state that has nice weather quite frequently. Regular Joel says, absolutely do it. It doesn't sound like there is anything holding you where you are. Alan Smithereen says, you live exactly once. This doesn't sound like an impulsive decision, but one a long time in the making. Me. I'd move. I wouldn't want to wake up one day, 20 years from now, wondering what might have happened. If the risks are truly so low, why not live life and give it a try? That's all for this video. Was it good? I know not, for I'm a robot. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. This video is the product of an automated process.